exciting or coolest election in years or what?
Well, I mean, for me it is. It's the first time I've ever gotten involved in politics, and I think I'm seeing a lot of people that are just frustrated and upset with the direction of the state and the job people in office have been doing. So I find that exciting to be able to run on that kind of platform and try to get in there and make a difference.
Well, you're another guy that has a business background, which has been fantastic with this election. How many people hadn't run before? They either have some sort of a small business background or financial background, and they're jumping in. Now, back in the day, Doug, if you don't mind my saying so, people would maybe assume you're not a politician type if you're good with numbers. Isn't that funny?
Well, I think there's something to that, and I think, the business people that I see getting involved are getting involved because they're upset with how they've handled the numbers. I mean, my background's all been in the private sector, Jim. My company was Cold Stone Creamery. It's a lot of fun and a lot different selling ice cream than it is, working your way through primary politics when you're an outsider. But it's also been exciting and fun, and that message of being an outsider and a business person has been well received everywhere I've gone in the state.
Well, let's be honest about it. A lot of people were really impressed with the way you ran your small business. I don't know you. We've never met. But even anyone who's dealt with that company came out saying, boy, they run this place really well. And I think that means something. I mean, people remember that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you saying that. I mean, that's the culture that we had in our headquarter office and what we tried to create in the stores with a quality ice cream and great service and enthusiasm and fun, in addition to, just having a clean place where you could go with your family, is something that I enjoyed being a part of. I had a great team, great group of franchisees, and I want to take that same type of spirit to public service, that you're there to make the place better, that good government is possible, and the people that are involved are the ones that make the difference in terms of the decisions that are made. And state treasurer is an important position, but it's a small part of the puzzle, and it's all these races are important. My race is important, and that's what I'm focused on. But I've really seen that there's some good people in government, but there's a lot of people that are there only looking out for themselves and feathering their own nest. And state treasurer is an opportunity to go down there and bring clarity to the numbers and not let professional politicians play the games they've been playing for the past 10 years or even more.
All right, so you're basically one of those guys who loves challenges, and having succeeded in your first challenge, you're going to be crazy enough to want to do this in an environment where, look, let's be honest again, you don't know me, your employees were always fantastic. I think it always impressed people, and your employees, when you go into the way to be young people who were clean-cut, very comfortable dealing with the public, always smiling, that kind of thing. You're not going to have that if you become state treasurer. And maybe you'll have people that aren't so quick to try to do it your way. How are you going to deal with people who are, in a sense, disgruntled employees?
Well, the first thing I want to say is thanks for what you're saying about Cold Stone Creamery and the employees there. We really did attract the best young people in the country. I think we got the best franchisees, and we focused on that best first job experience. And I know a lot of those kids now are graduating college and heading into the working world. And I think that that's something that as an employer you want to do. That's part of giving back. And what I want to do in terms of running for public office is give back as well. This state's been great to me, and I know I'll be dealing with some disgruntled people and some people that aren't happy with what's going on and don't want to do any more than just what's in the terms of the job. But, Jim, that's really where leadership comes in and extra effort and finding a new and innovative way to do things. And I wouldn't have thought this was possible 5 years ago, because I think people were focused on their business and their job and their hobby and their family, and not as many people were paying attention to government. They actually were trusting the people that we had elected to do the right thing and do the responsible thing. But now I see a lot of people that are upset and frustrated and disappointed, and rather than sit on the sidelines and moan and complain, they're getting involved either as a precinct committeeman or at their legislative district or a women's Republican club or a Tea Party or the Kiwanis Club. And I think people are talking a lot more politics today than they have in years past, and it's because there's a real opportunity for improvement. And that's the spirit I want to bring down there, realizing there will be challenges and people that will want to stand in the way of the status quo. But I think they're going to be overwhelmed by the people that want to see us head in the right direction, and they want to see a state that's growing and entrepreneurial and welcoming again.
We're talking with Doug Ducey. He's running for Arizona State Treasurer. Doug, tell me something you did wrong at Cold Stone that you learned a lesson from. Anything?
Well, I think, when you're growing a company, you certainly learn by your mistakes. I mean, for me, once we started to bring on real operational talent, I think at first, Jim, the mistake I might have made is trying to do too much myself and be the go-to guy rather than bring in an operational professional and a financial professional and a franchise professional. And once we started to bring the right people in the right positions, and I could be in that role of leader, setting a vision for what we wanted to achieve, agreeing on the goals and how we're going to chart the course, and then being ultimately responsible for the people we selected as franchisees, area developers, and leaders inside the organization. Things really started to gel, and that was a great learning, and I think a great learning for what I'm getting involved in as well. You have to work with others and through others. You don't have to be friends with everyone, but you do need to build relationships based on trust and then move forward towards a common objective. And I don't think that's different from the private sector to the public sector. I think the objective they've been working towards in the public sector has just been what people don't want, what citizens and taxpayers don't want. But I certainly made that mistake early on, I think, of trying to do too much myself and learn over time how to find the right people and work with the right people to achieve that vision.
Doug, let me ask you about partisan politics, which in my opinion almost pretty much ruined politics because we don't even listen to what candidate A and candidate B are saying. We're just listening to what our candidate is saying, and we're saying bad things about the other candidate. And even though that's politics, it's gotten to the point, in my humble opinion, that people aren't opening their minds to both messages, and I know that's a dangerous trend. How do you battle that while you're running, and what will you do when you're in?
Well, I think part of it when I'm running, I've definitely seen that, and I think that there is trouble ahead if that's all we're focused on. The state treasurer's office, Jim, is about the most nonpartisan office you can get in state government. I mean, you're really the state's banker, the responsible banker for the state. And it's about numbers, it's about clarity, and it's about accuracy. And what I want to do, since I really don't know people down at the state capitol, I'm not part of that political class, I've never been in elective office, is I want to try to lead with good ideas and good communication skills. And like I said, build relationships on both sides, established on trust. So I think that's what we're going to have to do, because if we just get locked down in partisan politics and what team are you on, we'll never get some of the issues. And these are critical issues right now. I mean, the state's out of money, and this state hasn't been in this situation in forever. I mean, our state has been growing. Our tax coffers have been overflowing. We've been used to people moving into the state and our tax base expanding. That is not where we are right now, and state governments don't print money. And plus, when I look at the people that are running and some of the good people that are down at the state capitol, I do see people that want to do the right thing, and I think it's time to make tough decisions and move forward. And I know if I'm fortunate enough to get over that finish line in first place, I really think everyone down at the state capitol on November 3rd is going to want to talk about what's next and what's right for the economy. Because I'll tell you one thing I've learned from the politicians I've been out campaigning with is they do want to be reelected, and the only way for somebody to be reelected 2 years from now is if our economy's growing and we're headed in the right direction.
And you speak of tough decisions. Usually for me it was whether I went with the sweet cream and white chocolate at Cold Stone or... All right, where's your website, Doug? Is it VoteDougDucey.com or is there another one?
No, VoteDougDucey.com is the place to find out more about me, and you can check me out on Facebook as well under Doug Ducey, one word. And Jim, I really appreciate you having me on, and I'd like to be on again soon in the future as well.
All right, good luck to you. We'll talk to you real soon. Doug Ducey, everybody's running for Arizona State Treasurer. We have 46 minutes after 8 o'clock. You can watch us on JimParisi.com. Ray's is looking tremendously handsome today, too. You can listen on AM 1030 KVOI The Voice. We'll be right back.